even for the tournaments, just because of it. Let's introduce our players, guys, to the... Oh my god, the network spikes have just increased. How? It's even worse than before. I don't understand what's going on. I really don't. I just don't understand what's going on at all. The top side of the map of Dash and Terminal for game 1 of this best of 3 round of 8 match. No, round of 16 match. Winner goes into the qualifying match, which is that round of 8. And the north side of the map, it is Team Extreme Supremacy's Beastyqt. To the 3 o'clock position, we're going to have our Red Protoss play from Imaginary Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. It's Welmu. Even the main base, I guess it's not actually that small. I guess you can get a couple of rows of production down here. Natural. Third, quite easy to do. It's actually a kind of good map for, in some ways, it's kind of a good map for mech. Because you can take 1 base, 2 base very easily. And I guess going over here towards these bases is a bit harder, but if you just control the middle, like if you control along here, you're pretty much safe as long as nothing's going on up here, and then you've got 5th base too. Beastyqt is someone who has kind of played against mech in the past, as the wall off here for Welmu, designed to kind of keep a Reaper away from crossing the map too quickly. The opening here from Beastyqt is going to be leaning in towards that Reaper expansion, and we'll be seeing that Reaper popping out here in a few moments' time. So, Reaper on the way out, and we've got an SCV crossing the map for Beastyqt right now as well. Going to be coming across here, and we'll be heading in towards the main base. Skylight Reaper on the way as well, but it's going to have to go a long way around to jump in towards this main, as the SCV is going to be scanning out the main base right now. Mothership Core being chrono boosted out here, and the Zealot is on the way as well, but it's just in case Beastyqt decides to block this natural expansion. If he doesn't, then I'm sure if he doesn't, then it'll be okay. This Reaper just going to stop here actually for whatever reason, and we're going to see a factory on the way down for Beastyqt. He's making a Marine. He really seems to be a fan of just not making his reactor straight away. He really likes to make his Marines before his reactor. It's just a little bit of a different build. Mothership Core on the way across the map. I guess it's because, maybe you just have to on this map, because of how fast the Mothership Core can come across. There's going to be 1 Marine now. He actually has to build a bunker. Oh my god. This is how ridiculous these maps are. Oh, you have to build a bunker to defend the Mothership Core timing. I don't know, like, these maps are just crazy. This SCV being targeted down, the Marines have to be targeted down now instead though. Well, we're doing a lot of damage on this Mothership Core, a couple more hits and it would be dead. It's going to try and come back in here. It needs to be very brave if it wants to do that. And these Marines are going to try and hunt it down. But I'm just going to hide it to the north side, and we'll come along the top side of the map. I'm not going to recall back home. I reckon he can just escape here, as Beastyqt goes on a little bit of a hunt. A little bit of a guessing game as to where his opponent will be coming from. Did he actually cancel the Zealot? Well, he cancelled the Zealot, and yet an engineering bay went down to block anyway, so a little bit frustrating. Stargate on the way though, of course this Stargate's going to hit across the map so quickly, and it means it's actually such a good strategy because the Mothership Core's already killed a couple of Marines. Oh, he's not going to build an Oracle. I can't disagree with this. I think an Oracle would be fantastic. That being said, I guess the problem is that drop play is so effective on this map. But if you get a Phoenix out early, it can really help to kind of stop that from being quite so good. So, yeah. Mothership Core just heading in towards the main base right now, just coming back home. Second Phoenix on the way out. And this could be such a hard counter to what Beastyqt is trying to do right now. With 2 Phoenix coming out here, I mean, he's going to start firing against that medevac so quickly, which has just loaded up these units. It's heading across the map. Let's follow this across here, and again, keep an eye on the minimap for those Phoenix potentially moving out to try and catch us. Again, the Stargate's a little bit earlier than you might usually expect because of this block on the natural. So let's see what's going to happen here as Beastyqt advances forwards and looks to see what he can do with this. Medevac boosts forwards, but again, Phoenix already here. Medevac's going to get taken down pretty quickly, chased away. Everything gets killed off, lifts the mine that dropped in, and absolutely everything gets destroyed here. Beastyqt gets completely shut down at the start of this. Adds on his extra racks now, goes into another Widow mine, and yeah, these Phoenix just Coming across the butterfly into a mine though. Nice reactions there. Picks up another Widow Mine, so much free damage being done right now. Beastyqt trying to build his natural in his base. He's just getting shut down completely, losing so many workers here. And I mean, back at home, Welmu with his own expansion on the way, going to take quite a significant lead in this game, I would say, honestly. As he starts chrono boosting out probes, especially, going to put him in a really good position. He's on 5 Phoenix now, but he's actually going to continue making them, going up to 6 in total. And we'll see if he goes anywhere past 6, because it's getting to the point where, you know, 5 Phoenix is kind of the standard number you see. Past 5, things can definitely get a little bit interesting, and he's actually going to have an Oracle as well. So I guess what he's going to aim to do with this is most likely fly around with the Oracle as detection, so you can try and pick off a couple of mines here and there, and make this Phoenix play that little bit safer. So these Phoenix need to be careful, but they fly into 2 Widow Mines there. Only one of them going off, however, so only one Phoenix really taking a big brunt of damage. A 3rd Widow Mine going to burrow, and as this Oracle comes out again, that detection will be available, and so potential to get some damage done here for Welmu. He's opening a couple of zealots as well, and I guess he's going to have so many lifts available. Maybe he just straight up attacks the front, lifts loads of, he just lifts all of these units. There's definitely a possibility. Stalking a couple of zealots to do a little bit of damage here. There's that Oracle coming in to detect. And moving forwards here. These Widow Mines are moving forwards, but they're not going to do much at all. And these Marauders getting taken down very quickly as well. The Widow Mines are going to go off, and at the same time though, this Orbital Command is taking a lot of damage. There's only so many Marines here, and there's 4 Stalkers, 3 Zealots. Beastyqt is actually in a little bit of trouble. This Orbital took a lot of damage, losing a lot of mining time there. Has to use a lot of minerals to repair as well. Robo Facility coming up back at home for Welmu. And this, I mean, this aggression is just going to continue here. The turret trying to come down to help out. Did that Oracle just go down? It did. So no more detection on the Widow Mines, which is a little bit of a shame. But still, these units are just continue to do so much damage. Beastyqt continues to lose workers. More Stalkers warp in from Welmu. This was actually a really nice build from Welmu. I really liked it. Oh, look at that. The turret just not finishing there. Widow Mines just doing so much friendly fire damage. I don't think Beastyqt actually recovers from this. This turret going to get taken down, so Welmu continues to control the natural. He's going to take down the steep, but not going to risk pushing up the high ground if he doesn't need to. And yeah, he's just going to sit on the high ground and chill out for now. Phoenix on the way back across to the other side though, and they're just going to keep flying around here. And there's a Robobay coming down for Welmu as well. A couple more gates coming in. Just starting to transition out of this. I mean, he's got such a big lead here from the start of this game that, I mean, he really is in a fantastic position. It's going to be so difficult for Beastyqt to fight back from a 20 worker deficit. More Stalkers being warped in because Welmu realizes, you know, I've got an advantage here. I have an opportunity to just keep on pushing and keep looking for damage. Sim and Combat Shields is now finished, but I mean, all the first Medevac's out. There's one Medevac coming forwards here, but I don't think it's going to do that much. An Observer would be brilliant. An Observer to kind of shut down these Widow Mines would be fantastic because the Stalkers would be able. There it is, the Observer coming in, and nice scan. Beastyqt aware of what's going on there. That keeps the Widow Mines alive for a little while longer there. Loses a Stalker to a Widow Mine, but snipes one down at the same time. I think now, well, we would probably head back home. Just want to overcommit to this. His Colossus is on the way, so you know he doesn't want to lose so many units that Beastyqt can just walk across the map and win. Especially when he's in a good position back at home. He doesn't have to win right now. As long as he doesn't make any major mistakes, he should continue to hold this lead for a lot more of this game. A couple of Medevac coming in and a couple of Widow Mines inside of it. The Medevac is just going to be turning away. Widow Mines dropping down and just burrowing here. There's the Observer sitting overhead. Once again picked off by that turret this time around. So Welmu losing a lot of his, what was that? Losing a lot of his observers in this game. And slowly work his way through these rocks. And as he makes his way through this, ooh, that Medevac will just have to fall back there. He works his way through these rocks and we'll be able to maybe push through across the map a little bit faster now. If he wants to go for some kind of time with a couple of Colossi. Definitely a possibility. He's got these Phoenix to help deny drops. He's got full energy Mothership Core as well. We've not really seen much of that since the start of this game when he did move across the map to try and get some damage done. A couple of Widow Mines waiting to try and come in towards the main, but I mean with Phoenix that was just so difficult to do anything, and Beastyqt scans and just sees he just sees he's so far behind an army. What can he really hope to do? These Phoenix are going to heal us immediately. Picks up that Widow Mine as well, and Beastyqt just going to head back home. He can't do anything right now at all. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the lagging game, guys. It's getting worse and worse as well. I really don't know what I can do. I just don't know why it's like this. I actually don't know what else I can do if I reset the internet and probably reset my PC. But we're so far into the qualifier now that we're just gonna kind of stick it through and just hope it gets better at this point. Alright. Phoenix just moving across the map, hallucinated, of course, to see what's going on, see what sort of position his opponent's in, and to get a bit of a feel for, you know, what sort of position he himself is in. A second starboard on the way for Beastyqt, and that'd be quite nice for Welmu to spot. I don't think he will have seen it there. No, he didn't. So not seeing that's a little bit problematic, because with a second starboard it means Viking production is going to come in, and so drop play is not going to be kind of the aim of the game here. Welmu might kind of expect it though, with having gone essentially Phoenix Colossi in this game. Not mass Phoenix, but still some Phoenix. I mean, the drop-in potential isn't there for the Temple, and if you can't drop, you may as well make Vikings instead. Going across here, Welmu going to be looking to try and push in for victory. I mean, this is a really nice choke point for him to use as well. I mean, Beastyqt is going to lose at least these 2 barracks, which is problematic. A few more stalkers coming in. I mean, the thing is, sometimes choke points can work, you know, against BO3 if they're trying to get zealots through. But all Welmu has to do here is just work his way against these barracks. Beastyqt going to lose a lot of his production. Has to be careful though, because these Vikings will work their way through the Colossi if not careful. The think about a finish though, now make it a little bit easier for the stalkers to work their way through those when the engagement does take place. Vikings again just trying to find a position here. Sentry being warped in, a couple of sentries are up, Guardian Shield will be available, and of course a couple of force fields. It's a very choked up natural, so a couple of force fields can really split up this army when it does advance forward to try and take the engagement. And well, Colossi just firing from a distance, so many workers going down. Here we go, the Vikings are going to start working against these Colossi. Stalkers will blink forwards on a bit of a suicide mission, but of course if they can just get rid of the Vikings, the Colossi will do the rest of the job. But the Colossi are actually going down here, and Welmu might be in a little bit of trouble. His Zealots haven't been fighting for a lot of this fight, they've just been chilling out in the back. 2 more Vikings coming in, there's a few Marauders get lifted up here. Them 2 Vikings, are they still alive? No, I think they're getting targeted down by whatever anti-air there is, a couple of Stalkers or so. There's 1 Colossus will add in a little bit of extra DPS, and Welmu, this wasn't exactly kind of a... this wasn't a very one-sided fight by any stretch of the imagination. I think Beastyqt did a lot better than he should have done. In fact, he actually holds an army supply advantage. He's just lost so many workers. You know what? If he cleans this up, he could maybe counterattack for the win. But he has to counterattack. Like, he can't just sit back and try and macro from this at all. He has to try and just win this right now. He has to go across the map and just hope he has enough to win. And you know what? He might. I mean, 1 Colossus on his own is not going to be too great. His plan going to get taken down. Beastyqt has to deal with this before he moves across the map. Dark Shrine on the way for Welmu, knowing that Beastyqt is not in the best shape economically, so he's going to have to put down a lot of mules to try and, you know, stay in this. So he knows that the scans are not going to be abundant for his opponent here. This choke point is going to be very good to defend for Welmu. He's got a couple of sentries out already looking to be able to defend here. And here we go. 4 more Vikings on the way out. I mean, maybe with 4 Vikings he can snipe down these Colossi. There's not that many Stalkers, but I mean, Welmu's economy is healthy, and that's the difference right now in this game. Beastyqt, I think, just probably going to wait for these next couple of Vikings. Oh, he actually loads up. He's going to try drop. I don't know about dropping, man. Like, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it's going to do some damage. Here he goes in towards the main base. Phone overcharge used immediately though. At least he forces a phone overcharge, so now that can't be used at the natural if he comes and engages here. Beastyqt actually going to find a way to kill this pylon, so I guess, you know, good for denying the Reaper at the start of the game. Not good in the middle of the game though. Vikings in the middle of the map on their own, going to get taken down by the Stalkers. Don't quite get that Colossus. There's not much to tank here though, not many Zealots. Beastyqt just going to try to split forwards. He takes down 1 Colossus, the second one going to fall as well. He just doesn't have enough behind it though. These Talkers are just in too high a number. Game is called, and Welmu had a really good plan for that game from start to finish. You know, he really shows he understands this map. You know, rushing with the Mothership Core, knows it's close by air. Forces Beastyqt, who also showed good knowledge of the map. You know, put down the bunker, didn't build his reactor, got Marines out very fast. It was pretty nice to see both players kind of understanding the maps. You know, we're going to jump into game 2 of Beastyqt Welmu in a few moments' time. The attack from Welmu though with the Phoenix and so on just did a little bit too much. As we're getting ready to jump into game 2 of this best of 3. Winner goes into the qualifying round to play against either Petit Drogo or Targa. Let's have a quick refresh and see if we've got any updates on any of that. Targa 1 game up against Petit Drogo. Starbug 2-1's Misu, and we'll move in towards the qualifying match where he'll play against Ufilm and Bly, which is now tied up 1 game apiece, which could be quite a cool match to see as well. Showtime plays Zanster as well in the final of the first bracket. Go, good luck, have fun, GG, being called. Sort of still waiting for Happy or Funk as well. So we're really getting towards the end of the day here, guys. After this best of 3, probably only 1 more, actually, I imagine. It's, yeah, probably only going to be 1 more game after this. 1 more best of 3, 1 more series, I should say. I guess, I mean, after this, 1 more best of 3, we're going to be about 5.5 hours into the qualifier, which is, I guess, about right for WCS qualifier. Doesn't seem too far off. Seems pretty realistic. So, yeah, we're loading into the game, and we're going to get ready to introduce our players on Iron Fortress. One of the maps which we're seeing a little bit more now that we've got a bit of a weirder map pool. Originally, not many people would have liked to see this. Didn't want to play on it all too often, but we are seeing a little bit more now this season. Of course, a map that some people are just more familiar with, at least. Anyways, in the upper left corner of the map from Team Extreme Supremacy, it's Beastyqt. His opponent from Imaginary Gaming in the upper right corner of the map is going to be Welmu. Welmu kind of nearly lost that game. As crazy as it is to imagine, he actually really did nearly lose it. So the thing is, though, he still had enough back at home. And he had enough economy. He did enough damage to the worker lines of Beastyqt to just about be able to hold on. It was a terrible engagement for me, it really was, but it was just about enough to be able to hold on there in the long run. Gonna be coming out here just on this Nexus. Early in this game on Iron Fortress, of course, a much different map, a much more standard map. I'm not going to see any kind of mothership core rushing across the map this time around or anything like that. So, so this is nice. As we wait to see what Beastyqt will go for. For now, just a Reaper opening, and probably will head into a very standard TVP build with that factory coming up and Widow Mines added on. After this, we'll begin to scout, but he's already scouted in towards the incorrect direction, towards the south side of the map. Going to check that bottom left corner of the map before he heads towards the bottom right, and then finally the top right. Of course, I mean, the main thing with this SCV scout, more than anything else, is to just find out where you should send your Reaper. Because if your Reaper goes in the right direction, you know, at least you're going to get that in there to scout at least. So, you know, that's something at least that he will be looking for right now. SCV into the woods, this bottom left, sees his opponent isn't here, and will immediately change direction. We see this probe popping out and going to be coming down towards the natural expansion, and we'll be popping down a Nexus here in a few moments' time. And there's that Nexus on the way. Reactor on the way up for Beastyqt, so you can see this build is a little bit different to what he was doing in that last game, just because he realised he needed the Marines early enough to defend against that Mothership core early on. So we're just going to slowly move his way across to this side of the map here. Well, we're going to get a little bit more fortunate in his scouting pattern. He's going to scout his opponent almost immediately with this worker. And Beastyqt going to come in towards his opponent's base, and he sees the Nexus, and for now that's actually all he's going to want to see. Doesn't get too interested in too much else here. Well, we're heading in towards the main base. He's actually going to get a really important scout of the lack of gas being mined from his opponent. So this isn't going to be a factory follow-up super fast. Oh, is it? He's got 120 gas mined, but then he's kind of pulled out. He's going to put down barracks. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of expecting now at this point. It seems as though he's got a lot of gas mined to go into double barracks. Like, he's mined a lot more than needed. But I guess he's going to be able to go into stims where he'll keep one work on this gas for a long time because he isn't going to need it super soon. So he's just going to go into barracks instead of the factory open. And I've seen a couple of Terran players doing this today, and it's worked too. We saw Cass doing it against Fighting Frog, and I think it was our second series of the evening. So, yeah, interesting, honestly. I'm intrigued to see how it continues. As this Reaper is going to come in here. I don't think he can get in towards the main base in time. In fact, okay, he can. He definitely will. And he will be able to scout this robot facility coming down for Welmu. So basically, you see what's going on, and he's going to know exactly what he is up against, which is nice. Welmu himself is going to be a little bit unaware, because he saw the pro workers pulled out gas, but he still saw, again, a lot of gas mined. Basically building a double tech lab in the back of this main base mineral line here. So going to get those stim and combat shield upgrades rolling very quickly in this game, and Marauders starting to build up nice and early as well. The Stalker going to come up to the upper left side of the map and try and hunt down some Marines, but these Marines moving out right now. We'll already find one Stalker, and holding the high ground he should be okay here to defend, especially if he splits up like this and gets into a little bit of a better concave so all the Marines can attack at the same time. Marauder on the way, and a Marauder in particular would actually be really great against these Stalkers, which will continue to be made. Welmu popping down a pylon here, just adding on 2 extra gates, and he's just going to be aggressive, it seems. Or is this just a pylon to counterattack when his opponent moves out on the map? That's definitely a possibility as well. An observer will give him vision of that, and that's always going to be something which can be a little bit of a nuisance to deal with as a Terran player. It's kind of like a warp prism which doesn't go in your main base, it just goes over here. But he's warping in more Stalkers. I'm not sure how much I like this. There's a lot of Marines, although they're in a bit of an odd position here against these first 3 Stalkers. Going to step forward to try and grab a few of them. A lot of Marines on this high ground still, but Welmu just going to keep pulling away, and I imagine going to keep warping in over to this left-hand side and try and make something happen here. The Marauders being kept on the high ground for now. Stim and combat shield's going to finish soon, so I guess Welmu, I don't know. He's going to keep warping in over here. I guess Welmu's plan's going to kind of be like, I mean, if he could pick off these Marines on his own, like on their own, that'd be great, and I think that's what he's going to go for. He's going to come from the other side, and he's going to scan to try and get the Observer, but it's going to, well, he actually gets the Observer, but he's going to end up losing a lot forward. He's going to lose a lot of these Marines. Now the Marauders come into the battle, but 3 Marauders, I mean, they're good, but this is 7 Stalkers still, and these Marauders, they don't have their upgrades just yet, so they're going to back off towards the natural and wait for a few more reinforcements before they really commit forwards here. Immortal being chronoboosted out, well, not chronoboosted out, but being made by Welmu. We have probably the idea right now that he probably needs some extra little bit of defense to help against this incoming combat shield stim push. You know, he needs a little bit of something to be able to help out against this, because with just the Stalkers he probably will just die. You know, there's not blink on these. With blink, okay, he'd probably be okay, but without blink, no, probably not. His pylon's still left up over here though. Beastyqt not really moving out though, not committing across the map at all. Concussive shells just on the way, +1 on the way, and a starport coming down as well. So the starport coming in, I mean, it's going to be able to start heading in towards that medevac production. I mean, this really is just kind of old school TVP, you know, kind of the free racks very early, straight into the starport and medevacs for kind of pushing across the map nice and early on. Sees the Immortal added into the composition, so he's going to have a pretty good idea that you probably shouldn't attack into this, at least without medevacs, as a Colossus gets added on as well for Welmu. So Beastyqt just moving around with these workers and with these Marines, and just taking a little bit of map control. Going to keep an eye on a third base going down for his opponent. Scan coming in over here. He's been very good at denying observers all series long, in that last game and in this one as well. So he will just pull back now and wait for these medevacs to start popping out 2 at a time from the reactor starport. Reactor on the factory as well, so he could go into some mine production if he feels it's going to be worthwhile for him. 4 more gates added on for Welmu, going up to 7. We're putting down Twilight Council as well. It's not really looking to be aggressive, just looking to have enough production to move towards that third base nice and safely, because his Colossus production is a little bit delayed. I mean, his first one of them just coming out now. He committed a lot of Stalkers early in this game before tacking into this Colossi, so kind of makes a little bit of sense. Hallucinate Oracle in towards the main base. That's not going to achieve anything here though, and Beastyqt at this point starts to realise this, and he will begin to move out onto the map. Now 2 medevacs are with this. He's got 2 more on the production tab. I don't think they're going to even be able to boost across the map to join these up with these units in time. This pylon's still in position here for Welmu. Beastyqt completely unaware of that. As the Stalkers sat in the main base and looking to defend the potential drop. If Beastyqt scans though and sees that there's only these units here at the front, he might just try and engage, but it's very difficult with Zealots and the Colossus, because you want to try and run through the Zealots. They'll deal a lot of damage because of that. So the second Colossus, is he going to try and go for this? He is going to go for it. He goes straight in here. Colossus doesn't quite go down though, and them Zealots just create such a good buffer at the front. And Beastyqt has to turn away. Doesn't achieve anything at all with this stim forwards. Just has to back off, just losing units there for, well, no real reason. Welmu still just keeping a few in his position. His main base doesn't want to get dropped to death here anytime soon. His Beastyqt up to 5 barracks now. Wait to see when exactly he's going to, I don't know, third CC. If he is, he's once again going into the second starport, so it looks as though he's not going to play kind of a drop-heavy style, just going to be pumping out Vikings from a very early stage in this game, and that's pretty indicative of maybe going in towards an SCV pull, but he'll need a third base soon if he doesn't. Omri's on the way, so he's going to go into +2 attack at least. And I guess he could. I mean, +2 attack takes a while to finish. 170 seconds is a long time. Is a long time. This must be a little bit more than 170. It's like 190, right? It takes a long time, but I mean, does he want to wait that long to get his, to get enough Vikings out? We have to process a long time to prepare. And again, it's not even starting yet. So, what is this armor going to be for? I have to imagine it's going to be that because again, just get +2 and go into an SCV build because there's no third base still. So. Beastyqt really is running out of time here to make something happen. Going to be able to find this pylon, which was causing him a little bit of nuisance early in this game. Gets rid of that. The armory's finished, but he's not doing anything just yet. He is scanning. Scanning where? Just the main, the natural, wants to see what's up, see what's happening. I guess it's because he sees no third base, and so he's just being very cautious. So there we go. +2 on the way. Also has his +1 for his vehicle weapons for his Vikings essentially. And again, just a few units moving out and around. We're going to see what's happening. Still no third command center. Still no third nexus. Both players are sitting on these 2 bases. I mean, it's generally the Terran player who is the player who will you're a little bit slow to take the third. But this time around, he's just going to say, right, I've waited long enough, man. Like, I'm just going to take this. Marine Marauder moving out. I mean, he doesn't want to pull the boys yet because. I mean, does he just cancel his upgrades? He just cancels his upgrades. So what's the point of investing in the armory anyways? Beastyqt a little bit unsure about what he really wants to do here, it seems. So that'll coming across, and that will be cut off by a few units, trying to hide the SCVs for as long as possible. Singles that comes into counterattack, but will make it towards an empty mineral line. And now, Welmu will know what's going on. He's going to add in a... well, Widowman's getting cleaned up there. Beastyqt not achieving anything. Going to add on a couple of cannons, it seems, if this probe ever makes it through that army. So they're going to come in quite late now because of that, and Beastyqt, what's he going to do? I don't think you should go kill his third base. I think you need to just go for the natural, go for the kill right now. Killing the third base with no third of your own behind this, with your SCVs across the map, is not really what you want to do. And here we go, going to start moving forward. Nice force fields, putting up a lot of these SCVs and a lot of this Marine Marauder as well in the back. Beastyqt should maybe back off a little bit, wait until the Vikings have done a little bit more damage. They're working their way through the Colossi pretty quickly, but now they're under fire from the Stalkers, and as well as that, they're under fire from the cannons, and the time warp comes down as they'll start to charge into this army. Beastyqt has just lost so much already. 2 Colossi remaining with that extra little bit of splash damage. This is just not going to be enough to break through here. Welmu will be going into the qualifying match, and Beastyqt is going to be the 2-0'd by his Protoss opponent. That will be GG.